Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Metrico by Digital Dreams. I really need to go get that email that tells me what prices are going to be, but I believe it's going to be around $13.99 or $12.99 euros. That's US dollars and euros. And it'll be free for people who are on PlayStation Plus during August. So, that's a good question. Is this game worth the asking price? Well, let's just find out. Oddly enough, there's no options screen as far as I can tell. All this really here is this level select menu, and if you probably couldn't tell, I think, could not promise you, but I think that I've almost finished this. I've been playing for about 2 hours at this point. I was thinking I'd stop at about an hour and do a video then, but I'm like, oh, let's see how much further I can get. Nope, apparently there's 6 level sets, and I imagine this is where the end of the game is. So yeah, 2 hours isn't that much content, to tell you the truth. Especially for a game that they want to charge $14 for. I will admit, there is more stuff to do. There is more stuff to do. Every puzzle, well, at least some of the puzzles, have some sort of side challenge where you can try and get them all to their maximum levels. We'll explain that in a moment. And other than that, though, I don't think there's much else. So let's just hop right into the third set of levels, because the levels afterwards have motion sensor gimmicks, and trying to do that on my slim kit while I'm recording is basically a recipe for disaster. So we'll just wait for the game to load, as slow as it may be. It is a bit slow on the loading. I mean, it's not too horrible, but it's a noticeable wait time between level sets, but thankfully there's a whole bunch of puzzles, like 20 to 30 minutes worth of puzzles without a loading screen afterwards. So the idea of this game is that you are this man who's trying to get through this entire world of weird things like this. What the? Oh dear. One moment, please. Alright, this should be better. Yeah, the game's going to be interlaced. I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do. Maybe I can get it back down to 30 during editing. If I do that, well, I'll let you know in an annotation or something. But yeah, my kit can't handle solid colors, and look what this is right now. Almost completely solid color. So what is this game? Well, you have checkpoints. And you have puzzles to solve. So for example here, we have a puzzle to do. This little thing over here. Most of the game is figuring out exactly what everything does. So, if you want to finish a puzzle, we want to figure out how to get this down to 0. So how do we do that? Well, I'm not 100% sure, so let's see what we can figure out. Let's jump over these and fire backwards. And that'll give me time to get on it, and we'll go on up. So, half the puzzles in this game seem to be figuring out what everything does and then just chaining it all together in something completely different. So, we have a lot of little enemies here, but obviously if we touch them, we go back to the start. And every enemy, if you shoot it twice, it'll die. So what we want to do is we want to figure out how to kill this enemy so that we have six shots landed from here. Thankfully the game does, well, the game is supposed to, oh yeah, of course, I'm silly. So yeah, this is just shots fired overall, not shots landed in enemies. I'm silly. There are other gameplay mechanics, like there are a few levels, especially later on, which use other parts of the Vita's technology. So for example, there's a level where you have to do all the puzzles using motion sensors. There's a level where you have to do it using the camera, and the controls are probably the biggest complaint I have about this game. Purely because they seem to be a bit, I don't know, unnecessary. Especially the cameras. The camera puzzles are kind of annoying because it's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what the game wants you to do sometimes. And you have to just figure it out for yourself by either floundering around a little bit or letting the game give you the solution. It's not too terrible, but it's just worth noting that the game tends to let you flounder around for a little bit. And there are other parts of the puzzles which can be kind of annoying. Like, for example, there are some levels that turn into just action-offs where you have to do everything precisely. There's no real puzzle involved. It's just, oh, you got to do this, this, and this, and this in a line. And once you've done that, you have to just head for the goal, and you can't mess up once, or you'll have to do the whole thing over again. There are some puzzles like that, but thankfully there are some areas that are actual puzzles. God damn it! Damn it! Good lord. What? I didn't even... Oh. I guess I do have to kill this thing. Bollocks. No, that's not how you do that. God, I finished this like an hour ago and I can't even remember how I did it the first time. This is pathetic. Oh, bloody hell. Let's go back to the main menu and skip to the next puzzle because, frankly, I'm not going to get this done anytime soon. And the loading starts again. This is going to be brilliant. Where was I? I'll just skip forward like 5 puzzles. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright, how do I continue from here? Is it? There we go. We just tap the play button. Of course we do. So yeah, might as well talk about the graphical style while I flounder around like an idiot. The graphical style itself is pretty nice. It's very minimalistic, and I will admit, I do like a minimalistic art style, but the one thing that kind of sticks out to me the most is the player. The player seems to be really sophisticated for this, even more sophisticated than the simplistic enemies that they throw at you from time to time. The player just throws me off a little. I wish it'd be a little bit more simple. You are allowed to pick your sex, and in between stages there is actually this little PSN thing which tells you what door people went through, but I'm not sure if it's relevant. Then again, I haven't played this all the way to the end yet, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. So now we have an area which requires precision shooting. Now this area is a pain in the arse because you have to aim with the rear touchpad and shoot with either the front touchpad or the L and R buttons. That is something else entirely. That's fantastically silly. So we just gotta aim and shoot. There we go. Now we just jump over here, then we jump down here. And more combat puzzles. Perfect. Whoops. Oh, we gotta kill everything, do we? Of course we do. Damn it! So yeah, the puzzles themselves aren't actually that hard, all things considered. I mean, they're not too difficult. I'm just sucking because I'm trying to figure out what I want to say while I'm talking, and that's never pleasant. Oh yeah, I can aim with my goddamn gun. What the hell am I doing? So it's kind of hard to aim this thing, especially since you've got to do it with the rear touchpad. And doing things with the rear touchpad, pain in the ass. I really wish they didn't do this. Why couldn't they just use the right analog stick? That would have been a much better way to aim. Some of the puzzles in this game don't really feel like they've been... Well, I'm not going to say they haven't been well thought out. What the hell? How am I supposed to... How did I get through this area before? Oh, right. Hang on. Gotta time it right. So there are a lot of puzzles which do use mechanics on the Vita, although some might call them more like gimmicks, and those puzzles are the worst, to tell you the truth, because the way they control isn't the best. Like, especially with the motion sensor puzzles, you have to tilt your Vita to the left and right, you have to roll it up and down, and you have to spin it around, and it gets really annoying after a while. Especially when you have to do a full rotation and you have to reset a puzzle to get the accelerometer right, and that's so annoying. And the camera isn't very good at actually telling apart things like color detail, so you can't really see what you're going to do. Now this is more of an example of an actual puzzle. What we have to do is we have to fire off as few shots as possible. Now I just have to remember how the bloody hell I did this in the first place. You have to fire off as few shots as possible, so let's... There we go. Now we jump up here. Nope, that's not how you do that. Wait, no, hold on. One shot. There we go. Now we can sit here and just jump our lovely knight away. And I've gone and screwed up. So yeah, half this game seems to be about... This is going to sound really repetitive, I'm sorry, but this game really is about just finding the solution and then getting it right, because most of the puzzles won't let you fail more than once. This was actually a really cool concept. I'm kind of disappointed by this. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. 1, 2, 3. Then again, I'm disappointed with every puzzle game that starts to rely on action-y segments. So let's just work our way up here now. Oop, another puzzle. So, what do we got to do here? So as I said before, the entire game is just working out what everything does and then doing it without failing, and some of you might like this. I will admit I'm having fun playing Metrico. It's just sometimes it's really annoying when you fail because you just missed or you got your controls mixed up or stuff like that. It's annoying as sin is what it is. Now I just have to remember exactly how I did this part. Oh yeah, I know what I do here. So we'll just... Yeah, this is another timing puzzle. So, as I said before, with the game being as action-oriented as it is though, people who play these sorts of games for the puzzles in them might feel a little bit disappointed because they have to rely on their reflexes for so many of these puzzles. Now this puzzle is one I actually kind of like. So we actually can set our own checkpoints. So now that we've done that, we can actually come back here, get on this one, and ride it all the way to the top. Now that's a sort of puzzly puzzle. Not the sort of action-y puzzles that this game seems to be littered with. There are some really good ideas in Metrico, and to be fair, this really doesn't interfere with the game as much as you might think. But at the same time, it's just worth mentioning that there's a lot of action puzzles in this game, and if you don't get it right, or if you have poor reflexes, you might be playing this for a lot longer than you actually intended to. Let's see, what do we do here? Admittedly, the game does keep the game fresh by introducing new mechanics every few levels. So, for the 2 or 3 hours that you will be playing, at least your first time through, the game does stay interesting, I'll put it that way. Hold on, if we jump here, then we can get this to do that. Now we come all the way over here. Work our way back up. Jump on this. And there we go. The game does remain fun, is what I'm trying to say. It's just... sometimes it's a pain to figure out exactly what you need to get done, and sometimes it's even more of a pain trying to figure out what you actually do need to do in order to finish the puzzles and then actually go and do it, because the puzzles are more action-y than you might expect them to be. See, this puzzle is actually quite interesting because you actually have to build a staircase and actually get up to the top of it without getting your ass handed to you by the game's physics engine. Go get that back down here. Alright, so let's go back to the top of the stairs and reset this checkpoint. Down down, 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 activate that, jump here, activate that, jump here, and there we go. So the game does indeed remain fun. So, I guess the main question is, would I really recommend Metrico or not? We've got one more puzzle to do, so we might as well do it. Let's see, we'll reset. So let's see, what do we do here? So, looks like we have a limited amount of jumps. That's interesting. So let's see what we can do with this. We'll push this all the way over here, and we'll run over here to get in a good position. Now we will jump, 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 jump. Whoopsie. Bloody action puzzles. Jump, 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 jump. Okay, right here. Oh, I think I screwed up. So, I think I'll just summarize Metrico. There are a lot of fun puzzles to do in this game, and it's fun to explore and see what all the mechanics do. But at the same time, it gets really annoying after a while that you have to do so many action puzzles. And there are a few gimmicky puzzles which don't control as well as they could thanks to the Vita's other input features like the motion sensor, or the gyro sensor I guess I should call it. And the camera. And I wouldn't recommend this at full price, just to be perfectly honest with you, because it's a bit too expensive, at least for my tastes. It only goes for a couple of hours, and what's there is not mind-blowingly awesome. But considering the fact that people get it free on PlayStation Plus in August, and if you don't have PlayStation Plus at this point, what are you doing, you gigantic silly person? But, you know, if you can get it for, say, I don't know, 10 bucks, maybe cheaper, can you get it for free on PlayStation Plus? Either way, it's good. It's a good game, but I wouldn't recommend it at full price. Go look for it at a cheaper price. Let's see, how do I get these doors down? I imagine I just keep shooting that, huh? And we've got that little thing there that shows what doors people went through. So let's just go on through. And that takes us on to the next level. I'm not sure what relevance that stat tracking has, but oh well. This has been Blue Maxima taking a look at Metrico. This is probably a terrible video, but again, I'm terrible at puzzle games, so that's how it goes. I'll see you all next time.